This problem, we will solve a mathematical problem involving rational numbers and multiplication. Which of the following expressions has a value of 1 and 25 hundredths? To solve this problem, we need to know the rules for multiplying integers. Rule number 1 is a positive times a positive will give us a positive. The second rule is a negative times a negative equals a positive. A negative times a positive equals a negative, and a positive times a negative equals a negative. So once I know those rules, I will be able to figure out what will give me a value of 1.25. The number is positive. So that means the only answers that we can, that I can eliminate any answer or rule that will give me a negative. So we're going to rule out a negative times a positive and a positive times a negative. So that's going to leave me with a positive times a positive is a positive, or a negative times a negative is a positive. So let's look at our choices. Here we have a negative and a positive, so that's not going to work. Here again, we have a negative 2.5 and positive 0.5 or 5/10. That doesn't work. Here we have a negative times a negative, and that's a positive. That looks like it works. And here it's a little weird because we have a negative times a negative times a negative, which altogether a negative times a negative is a positive. Leaving us with a positive times a negative, which will in fact give me a negative. So this problem is negative. So we will eliminate that answer. So our final answer is going to be negative times a negative is a positive. The answer is negative 2.5 times negative 0.5, or negative 2 and 5/10 times negative 5/10.